17th of August, and we're going to start with gold today, as it's the first chart to appear on my screen. Right, we saw the low of big 2 there, so we've had an impressive rally from around, as I recall, 1160 or thereabouts. No, sorry, I think 1260. So a big 1-2. We've now got 5 waves up here, followed by what I believe is an A and a B. Well, the B does seem to have 5 waves here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which does slightly confuse the issue. But I don't think this could be the whole correction. It's rather short in terms of time, although price actually is okay, 38.2% retracement roughly. So I think probably going to see a C wave decline, maybe down to 50%, around 1467. I did see a newsletter suggesting this actually is an amazing peak in gold, and the bull's about to collapse and go down to prehistoric levels. I think this is highly unlikely given the financial situation of the world, where the various fiat currencies are suffering yet again, where there is a move away from fiat currencies and other less stable commodities, etc., and into precious metals and cryptos. So it seems to me far more likely that we're going to see a really solid third wave advance once this decline is over. So no change of opinion there. Silver and gold are sort of fairly in harmony now. We're seeing the wave 2 down, 1, 2. We do have 5 waves up here. This is 3 ended, whereas gold's seen a 5. So there is a difference there. That may come to nothing, as it were. It's got the same basic pattern here. 1, 2. So C wave again before we see more upside. I'm sure that the gold and silver, well, I'd expect gold and silver to harmonise, but no change of opinion. I think we're going higher here once this correction's out. Right, Bitcoin is less clear at the moment. We've got this 5th wave, so 5 waves up from the low, from around 3,000 odd up to about 13.5. So a very solid 4x from that low. Now the count here has changed. I think this is actually an A wave, A, B, C, B wave, and now in a C wave, and C would equal A at around 7540. That's a fair bit off the current levels, but it would make the correction more respectable in terms of both price and time. We have the 38.2 retracement around here, which is around 8.5 thereabouts, and we have the 50% around 7.2. So that's my target range at the moment. If we look at the pattern of the action since the peak here, let's go down to a shorter term. Right, so we have the top here of the B wave, followed by an A, a triangular B, and then we've got 5 waves down for 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4. So my case is that we're going to see a 5th wave. Now it may not go as low as I'm thinking, but it's probably going to take out 9,000, I would think. But that's basically the count, is that we've got a 5th wave coming in. I mean, having said all that, it's I mean, those targets make sense, but it may be that because obviously the first wave here is, I mean, this doesn't need to go that far to equal wave 1. I mean, wave 1 and 5 can be equal, but it's not as reliable as nowhere near as reliable as the A equals C formulation. So I think I'll have to see a break of this, probably of this, but whether we'll get down to the 7,000 to 8,000 levels is more uncertain. Of course, it's quite close to that point. If you go below 9,000, it's not a terribly big difference to get down to the 7,000 to 8,000. I would just say that we have got a clear 5 up here, so it's still possible this is actually wave 1, and this is actually just a very big correction of that wave, but it's looking too big for that, really. I mean, I think it's longer in terms of time, and it's likely to take out the low. All right, meanwhile, in the equity markets, we have some quite ominous patterns coming up. I mentioned this island reversal we saw at the end of July on the S&P, with the gaps here and here. Also mentioned the short-term head and shoulders, but looks like a 1 down to there, 2, 3, ABC 4 and 5, followed by an A, B, and a C to there. Okay, we started to fall back. Looks like 5 waves down, a bit messy. Followed by this rally. It's coming off support levels. So the indications are that this is going to fail. Unless we take this out here, unless the S&P goes above 2944 thereabouts, I'd expect this to fail and for us to come down below here. Now, yesterday was expiry day, options expiry on all the markets we cover already. I mean, except in Bitcoin, etc. But all the indices have an expiry day: FTSE, DAX, S&P, Dow, etc. What the Dow does, because the options are it's all about options or options on the S&P, sometimes, and 87 was the first time I experienced this. You see very sharp action after expiry. So in October 87, after options expiry, the market's just collapsed. It's happened a few times since. It could happen now. There's no, I mean, it doesn't have to happen now, but things are looking fairly ominous. So it wouldn't surprise me to see fast action tomorrow with a sharp, sorry, not for tomorrow, on Monday, with a sharp fall coming in. But currently the pattern is looking, this is not, I mean, there are a few messy bits. This is rather messy up here. This sort of third wave, we've already seen ABC already without having to see this thing here. And we haven't broken support, of course. And so far we've had 3 strong bounces off support. So if we do test support, the 4th time is often the time it does break. So if one gets to the 4th time, that is. So I think there's a potential for fast action in equity markets on Monday. I'll run through these fairly quickly. So on the Dow, we've got a sort of similar pattern as well, or a messy count. But then you've got this clear ABC, with a double top coming in here. Pretty clear 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This bounce coming in yesterday, so that fails. This breaks, again the same parameters apply. The DAX is a slightly different pattern. We had the peak up here, not an all-time peak as we saw on the S&P, but a peak of that particular rally. 1, 2, 5 waves down there, 3, 4. This is probably the 4 to there, I suppose. 5 waves here, as wave 5. But so far, just this fairly short-term blip up on the DAX. But I guess if other markets fall back, I mean, on the DAX you expect to see something like this really. So that's not quite the same. But if support breaks, then it would of course be something else. And FTSE is following the same model as the DAX. So we had the 5 waves down already. In fact, it's possible that we got 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more low to come though to complete that particular sequence. So currently US markets and European market are out of sync a bit here. As I say, but we have got that option expiry and we have the potential of sharper falls on Monday, even though the DAX and the FTSE look like they should be seeing something a bit milder. Right, a fairly long report today. If you found it interesting and useful, I'll back the report on Tuesday morning for subscribers. I do have this small group I'm setting up for Bitcoin traders. And if you're interested in being part of the, I think there's just 10 people, but a lot of the place have already been taken. Because I think we are going to see some very, very substantial gains on cryptos in the coming months. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening and bye for now.